G'day guys, this is Tyr and welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Now today is a little bit of a sad one depending on your opinion on bugs and all bugs in general. Yes, on the PTS another long-standing bug has been fixed, however this one, in my opinion, is not one that most of us wanted to ever get fixed. This is one that a lot of us were hoping would get swept under the rug and get hidden on Bethesda's radar for quite a long time, and that is because it's a bloody fantastic bug. Most bugs in this game are fucking awful. Terrible. Shit. And we usually want them patched. But this one was great. It was amazing. I'm of course talking about the double nuke glitch that allowed you to spawn both Earl Williams and the Scorchbeast Queen at the same time if you did the right things. And by the right things, I meant, of course, you would first launch a nuke at Earl over Monongah Mine, and then you would launch the remaining two nukes in the world at the Queen. And for whatever reason, it would also spawn the Queen on those second and third nukes, and it would also spawn Earl again. And you can still do this right now on the live servers of the game, on the real versions of the game. You can launch a nuke at Earl and then launch the remaining two nukes on the server at the Queen, and you can enjoy this glitch for now. But on the PTS, this is patched, and that means that this will get patched and will get brought over to live servers in the coming months whenever this stuff gets released. So basically, make the most of it while you can, and just enjoy the glitch because it's a fun one. Let's be honest, it is a fun one. And that's a reason why a lot of people are kind of upset that this is getting patched to begin with. Like, let's be honest and let's just be frank with what the state of the game is like right now. Especially for endgame players like myself. You've collected all the weapons you could in the game, you've collected your armor, completed your build, you're level 300 plus on 5 characters, you've done all the missions in the game, and what's left for you? Repeatable dailies and events. And for the most part, to top it all off, that just boils down to you fighting the Earl fight or the Queen. And that gets stale. There's only really 2 bosses in the game, and just doing that on repeat is pretty boring. So I guess a lot of people are kind of upset this is getting taken away, this bug is getting fixed, because it was just a nice little treat, a nice little topping for your missions, for your effort. You would launch one nuke and get a 2-for-1 deal. You get 2 bosses for a single nuke, less effort, and you just put in less effort for the nuke drop and you'd get more bang for your buck. Literally, the nuke would blow up and you'd magically get 2 boss fights. If you're good enough, you would do it quick and you'd get your script, you'd get your legendary weapons and armor, you'd get your rewards. It was just more for you and less effort. But yes, all good things must come to an end, and at the end of the day, this is a glitch, and glitches eventually get fixed. So, unfortunately, it has to go. It's gonna go, and there's nothing I can do to stop it, there's nothing you can do to stop it watching this video. And that's the point of this video. We're just here to talk about it, let you all know that it is in fact leaving the game, it is getting fixed. But this also opens up the conversation for what is there to do in the game for us endgame players? Especially when it comes to nukes, the end bosses. Let's be honest, any endgame player who has launched nukes before knows how tedious it is, and they know that there's not much going on in the terms of boss fighting or endgame material. So, I think that this is a good stepping stone for Bethesda to actually take a look at giving the nuke silos a much deserved facelift and overhaul. Okay, the nuke silos need to be changed up, they need to be switched up, they need to be made to be more exciting, more diverse, and more challenging. We need the challenge. Basically, I want to use this whole thing as a stepping stone and just try and bring light to the fact that silos are boring as fuck and we hate launching them. That's why everyone loved this glitch so much, because it cut down hell of time in the silos literally in half. Okay, we spent half as much in the silo because it was a 2-for-1 deal. And this also, it just brings me to a point that the silos need a fucking overhaul, they need a revamp, they need a facelift, a much needed facelift. All 3 silos in the game, in every server, are the fucking same. They're complete copy and pastes of each other, same layout, same rooms, same turrets, same robots, same challenges, same everything, same objectives. They're fucking boring. especially if you're at the end game, if you've launched thousands of nukes at this point, okay? If you're above level 300 and are a competent end game boss player, I guess is the term, you fight bosses, you've probably launched at least 100 nukes in your time right now. And that's a lot of time to spend in looking at the same fucking layout, the same enemies, fighting the same things, doing the same quest. So for starters, with this facelift, I recommend they make all 3 silos different, okay? You can keep one, let's say keep Alpha the same as it is right now, same layout. Then you just change Bravo and Charlie. Change the layout. Give us a different maze to run through. Give us different rooms. Give us different enemies to fight in there. Give us different challenges in there. Okay, just make it different. That would be my first suggestion. From there, this applies to all 3. We would definitely make all of the enemies much more powerful if you were above level 100. Okay, the robots inside are weak. It's just it's boring. It's annoying. It's a chore. Going through the silos and fighting the same fucking Mr. Handies and 1 sentry bot, and then you got 2 Assaultrons in there. The odd Mr. Gutsy that's using the anti-armor ballistic weapon. But it's no challenge. I say 100% with 100% certainty, all of the enemies in there need to be buffed if you're above level 100. Make it a fucking challenge for us, okay? It's boring, and this is an endgame event. It's just boring, and it's a slug. It's a slugfest. No one really wants to launch nukes. And take that from someone who has launched many fucking nukes. I have launched way too many nukes. I wish there was a way to actually keep track of how many nukes we launched in like the settings or something, but there's not. At least not the one that I'm aware of. So yeah, step 1 would be to make all 3 silos unique. Step 2 would be to buff the enemies inside. And then what's step 3? Well, in my opinion, there needs to be some sort of unique boss type enemy with a crown next to his name and 3 stars that is guaranteed to be 3 stars at the end of the silo. And he could only appear if you do the quest properly, so the people that skip past it don't get to benefit from just a 3-star guaranteed. But you know what I mean? At the end of the silo, there should be some type of guaranteed 3-star reward and some type of boss to fight. Like, it could be a sentry bot, it could be a Soltron, it could be a Gutsy, whatever. Just a 3-star enemy that is harder to fight than the regular robot. He's incredibly buffed up. And yeah, it's a little thing, but it could make it a lot better to experience the silos. Just making it a little bit of a boss fight at the end. Just a little treat. Here you go, here's your 3-star. Thank you for playing, thank you for launching this nuke. And from there, basically, we would just also alter the rewards you get from completing the actual Death from Above mission, from actually going through the silo. Because right now, what does the quest give you? Fucking 1 to 5 missiles? Some fucking combat armor, and then some junk and 8 items. Like, maybe an odd 1-star legendary if you're lucky, from the quest. What type of fucking reward is that? I bet you guys, if you looked at the stats in the files, missiles would be the most dropped item in the game, because I know every single time I complete a nuke silo, I go straight to the ammo section in my Pip-Boy and I drop those fucking missiles. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do. So yeah, alongside with a guaranteed 3-star enemy to fight as a boss type of end cap for the dungeon, there should also just be better rewards for completing the actual nuke itself. I don't know what they could be. They could be useful junk. They could be flux. They could be a legendary item, or they could be some script, or I don't know, anything besides fucking missiles. They just need to revamp the rewards for the end of the dungeon in specificity, because it is fucking garbage. And then what would I do from there? Well, I would do what I said in this video right here on your screen. Bullet 76, the Nuke Launch Mastercard for endgame players, suggested feature. Check that out if you want to see that idea or suggestion in its entirety. But basically the TLDR version is, I want to have a new function added to Modus and the silos. Basically, once you would do everything you can for Modus and complete the entire Enclave mission there would be one final next step, one final mission where you would get Modus to directly link and take control of the silos, and he would give you a Mastercard which would allow you to skip through the entire silo if you meet the requirements, which would be very hard requirements to meet. Let's say something along the lines of you've got to launch like 50 nukes, or you've got to kill the queen a certain amount of times, or you've got to do a certain amount of something. It would just be a hard challenge. That's all I know it would be for the way it works in my head. It would be a hard thing to accomplish, and you would get this MasterCard, and then you would be able to just skip parts of the silo if you meet the requirements. Obviously, this would only work for you with the MasterCard, and this would only work for the players that have risen to the challenge. And this would be for everyone that is sick, absolutely sick to death of going through all of the silos on repeat to launch a nuke. Because let's be honest, no matter what they do to a silo, if they do all the things I said previously and they make it fun and unique and have bosses and better rewards, we're still not going to want to go through the silos. It's just a thing that is boring. Like, the silo is a stepping stone to get us to what we actually want to do, and that's fight bosses. And unfortunately, it appears nuke silos is that middle ground that we have to pass through to actually fight bosses. So, some form of skipping feature that you would have to acquire meet the requirements for would be a great addition to this game, just based purely for those that don't want to be doing the silo, for those that have done it many, many times and are just sick of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say for this video. Like, we've just gotten a very handy glitch taken away from us, and it's getting patched. There's nothing we can do to change that. That glitch is getting patched, and I just thought that might open up the conversation. It might open up conversation for making some much needed changes towards the actual silos itself. Like, because let's be real, everything I've mentioned in this video, the silos are the root of the problems. That's the reason people are upset that this is getting patched, because they're going to be like, oh no, I've got to go through silos twice as much now to fight bosses. Yeah, that's basically it. A massive shout out to all my current Patreons and channel members. You legends help fuel the content on this channel, so thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to support me on Patreon or become a channel member or purchase my merchandise, check out the links in the description, along with my other social medias. And be sure to subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy. I've been Tia, and I'll catch you in the next one. Welcome to Valhalla.